This week on Gadget. I got some splaining to do. Hello, and welcome back to Gadget at thetechstop.net. It's a place where it's always time to get your geek on. I'm your host, Father Robert Ballecer of the Society of Jesus. That's the California province of the Jesuits. We're the largest religious order in the Catholic Church, and we're here, back in the Center for Apostolic Technology in Honolulu, Hawaii, at the University Catholic Center on the campus of the University of Hawaii. Now, I want to start off by apologizing. I know, this is my splainin'. We have gone such a long time without releasing an episode, and honestly, we don't have a great excuse, but I do want to explain what happened. You see, we thought we were going to be able to push out some great coverage of CES. That's the uberGeek paradise in Las Vegas, Nevada. Unfortunately, the day before the show started, our studio lost their connection to the internet, and we didn't get it back until 2 days after the conference had ended. Thank you, Cox Communication. Now, that's not the only reason. As you can see, we've been backlogged with just tons of gear that has arrived from our contacts at CES, gear that we want to get out to you. And actually, if you go to our website at www.thetechstop.net, you'll be able to find what we've been doing. You'll be able to see the pictures of where we went and what we saw and who we talked to. And it really is a fascinating experience. It also helps us out. I mean, we're up to about 20,000 unique visitors a day, but every visit helps us get more gear, which helps us get it to you. Now, I want to make it up to you, and the way that we're going to do that is that we are going to try to give you all the footage from CES. We're going to try to intersperse it with reviews of this wonderful gear, and we're going to hopefully get out more than one episode to you. That's right. We're going to try to move to a format in which we're just going to release as quickly as possible. Maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 5 a week until we've cleared the backlog and maybe you've forgiven us for being gone for so long. In any case, I want to explain one thing about the CES coverage. You see, first, we lost half of our footage. Thank you to the TSA for inspecting our bags, and inexplicably we lost a camera and about 3 DV cassettes, which was sort of a bummer. I mean, we had some great footage. The second thing is we were breaking in a new camera person, a man that I love dearly, a fellow brother Jesuit, a professional engineer from Boeing, who wasn't the steadiest on the camera. Now, that's my fault. I didn't give him enough lessons. Well, you'll see. You'll see what happens. Without further ado, let me introduce you to the first episode from CES, and please, stay tuned. We're here at APC talking about vampires. No, not the blood-sucking ones. We're talking about the power-sucking ones. If you've got wall warts, those little AC adapters, or devices that require standby power for remote control, if your monitor blinks when it goes into a low-power state, then yes, you are using less power, but you're still using power. Well, APC has a new series of devices in their green line of products. What this will do is it will actually detect how much power is being drawn by this master. So, for example, you may have this plugged into your computer. Once that drops below a certain threshold, so in other words, your computer has shut off or gone into standby, it will actually cut power to the other outlets. So the idea is you have your computer plugged in here, maybe your monitor here, your speakers here, and any additional printers or peripherals that you may have connected to your devices. Now, the cool thing about this is they say that if you are a standard computer user, just shutting off that standby power can save you enough money to pay for this battery backup unit within 2 years. Now, if you don't need the battery backup, but you still want the line conditioning and the power savings, you can go with this, which looks like one of APC's standard power strips, but it has the same circuitry built in. You've got the master control right here, and then you've got your 3 outlets that will be shut down if the master control goes below a certain draw. I'm here at Voltaic Systems, and they've brought out for CES a brand new solar bag. Now, if you've seen Voltaic Systems bags before, you know that they have things like the solar backpack, made for day trippers or for hikers or for those who wanted some sort of power source when they were on the go. Now, they've heard a lot about people wanting to be able to charge up their laptops, and while those systems are fantastic, it's not ideal. And so they've created this.
the generator. This little bag here, it looks like a standard notebook bag, but as you can see, it actually has a 15-watt solar panel on the front. Inside, it has a super efficient, designed especially for the Voltaic systems bag, regulator that will allow you to output to either a 5-volt USB connector or through the tip system to various notebooks. Now the nice thing about this bag is not only is it durable, but it allows you to put a second panel onto the back so you can butterfly the solar panels and get up to 30 watts of power on a sunny day. Now we've got Shane from Voltaic Systems who's going to tell us a bit more about what went into the design of these bags. Come on over here.
Well, you know, for us, the first challenge is always to make sure they look attractive, and so we were somewhat constrained in what we could do.
You don't want to make an ugly bag.
We don't want to make an ugly bag, and we don't want to make anything that doesn't work well. And so our challenge was how do you get this much power on the outside of a bag, and we wound up moving away from sort of the 3-panel system because you lose a little area. This allows us to pack maximum power in this area. Made sense for a notebook bag. We worked around the 17-inch PowerBook size in order to, you know, produce about the right size bag.
Now I've seen some bags like this using the flexible, the thin film solar. Now why didn't you do that?
All of our bags use a rigid panel, in some cases mounted in fabric so it feels flexible, but what we found is when we experimented with the flexible panels, they're far less robust. And so after a few months of wear, if you start creasing them or bending them too much back and forth, or, you know, the power breaks down and at some point they die totally. They're also far less efficient. So in this area, you're going to get probably half the power on a flexible panel, from a flexible panel, as you would from this, because these are high efficiency solar cells. The technology is just not there on the flexible panels yet.
Now the obvious question someone's going to get is, well, this thing looks like it's going to break. Like the first time I drop it, the first time it smacks into another bag, that the panel's going to crack and I've just thrown away all my money.
Yeah, and it's a bit of an irony actually, because the reason we chose these is just that they're so tough and the flexible panels weren't robust enough, but people intuitively assume the flexible panel is stronger. It's not. If it was, we might be tempted to use it a little more, but this is specifically because it's so strong. And of the thousands of bags we've sold, we've never had a solar panel come back broken.
A great track record. Now tell me a little bit about the power options, because I know it's not just solar.
It's not just solar. So what happens is on the solar option, the panel's generating a charge. It's stored in this battery here and then transmitted to whatever device you're charging, laptop, phone, etc. But you can plug this battery into the wall or into a car and gather a charge that way. And really, you know, although our focus is green energy and sustainability, we want to make sure that we first deliver a useful product. So this is a universal charger. The idea is you gather power wherever you can. When you can do it from the sun, that's great, and it's there when you need it.
Oh, fantastic. So do you have any intentions to expand this line? Because most of these other bags are sort of for the out-of-the-way traveler, but this really looks like a mainstream bag that a business traveler would use to bring his laptop to work.
Yeah, I mean, our line has evolved over the course of the business. We started out with specifically outdoor users in mind and found that actually it was travelers that were more interested in our product. And so, you know, we developed this bag, which is a little more of a city-type bag, and now this one, which is a briefcase. Our next lines will be some variations on this. So we're going to do a smaller bag that will probably, you know, run about 2/3 that size if you wear it differently. We're also doing camera bags. So this system is modular, so we'll be able to attach different backing, so we could put a whole camera bag section on here. Other than that, we've got a lot of ideas that we'd like to pursue. It's a matter of just prioritizing them and moving through one by one.
Great product, great technology. Thank you for your time, Shane, and best of luck.
You know, it was really amazing how green this CES was. And I mean, how many companies brought products to save power or generate power in a way that they hadn't previously. Now, that's all the time we have for this episode of Gadget. But be sure to check back often, because we're going to be pushing these episodes out as quickly as possible. We're going to try to get you all that CES goodness. We're going to get you these reviews. We're going to get you what you need, because we know you need it. And remember, there's no uberGeek without you.